Good evening, my friends. This is the Grim Flayer, and I'm trying something new out today. We're just gonna try to record live for the first time ever. We're just messing around in the tournament practice lobby, just to try to get some decent footage for the channel for tonight. Little bit disappointed, or I should say a lot disappointed, because what happened is the client updated this morning, I believe it was. There was some downtime. By the way, yeah, we'll keep this hand in a blind game one for sure. We've got enough utility out of the land base that even if our fatal pushes aren't great, Tarmogoyf plus utility lands is not a bad place to be. Anyway, there is an update this morning, some downtime. I played a great game against Martyr Proc yesterday that I was really excited to upload, and I played a full league today, and I was planning to make a video for the first time ever out of a full league, which would have been really exciting news for the channel, but every replay that I have now, whether it be the Martyr Proc from before the update or all of the league games from after the update, is bugged. It's saying, sorry, an unexpected error has occurred every time an action is taken, every time you click to the next step. So, of course, that is unwatchable. So, hopefully, they will iron out that bug and I don't just lose that great footage for the channel. We'll have to see. But for now, because replays seem essentially unusable, at least for the moment, I figured we'd give it a shot, just recording something live. So it looks like we're against, some kind of a black-red mid-range deck. We might have thought Jund before we saw this Faithless Looting. Now, there are some Jund decks that play looting, but this looks more like one of the many graveyard-based decks in the format, and they're going to pitch a Watery Grave. Alright, maybe this is Grixis Death Shadow. Faithless Looting is catching on in those decks for sure. So, interesting draw. Dark Confidant is, yeah. I mean, they took our Tarmogoyf before they took our Fatal Pushes, right? So, that leads me to believe they might not have a removal spell for the Bob. The upside is certainly the highest if we get him to stick around. So let's run out the Confidant. They also updated the chat. I don't even know. Doesn't look like there's any place to actually chat anymore, although I'm sure if you mess around with that, you can find it. Let's just close this out for now. That's a little bit more aesthetic, wouldn't you say? Hope everybody's doing well tonight, by the way. Didn't you do my usual opening spiel, because I'm off my game. I'm not in my comfort zone of replaying anymore, so we'll see how this goes. New item to the collection. Okay, sweet. A treasure chest. I don't know where that came from, but anyway. Maybe we'll open that at the end of this video. So the opponent bolted the Bob while we were minimized and played a land and pass. So we have drawn a Tireless Tracker. Yep, pretty clearly want to hold that to follow up with a fetch land, and we'll just hold up our Fatal Pushes here and pass. We are punished a bit if they have a discard spell next turn, but they've only got 2 cards left in hand, and they're more likely to have some kind of removal than discard at this point. So, they'll go get a... There, looks like they're fetching up a Storm on the end step here. Yep, looks like just Grixis colors, not suspecting 4-color here, since they got a second Blood Crypt. They're going to flash back the looting. That's fine with me. What do you all think? Is Faithless Looting a real problem card in Modern, or is it just kind of a cornerstone of the format now? Alright, they looted away a Death Shadow, so they clearly have some respect for the Fatal Pushes that are in our hand. And this looks like they're delving away a bunch of stuff for a big old Gurmag Angler, sure enough. Nothing we can do about that, and Abrupt Decay certainly does not help. That's a little bit annoying. We've got all of the removal in the world, but nothing that can take down the fishy. Fortunately, we have the good old Tireless Tracker, and she is going to help us pull way ahead on resources. I think I want to just main phase this fetch here. We're going to go get a swamp. It's slightly inefficient, but in terms of, maximizing the value of that fetch land, we could get an Overgrown Tomb out of our deck, and that would be very painless, right? But we certainly don't want the tracker to get bolted or pushed or anything like that in response to our to us cracking our fetch. So we'll be slightly suboptimal with what we get in terms of being very optimal with making sure we hit all of our clues. We're going to have to take 5 here. Certainly not interested in a block yet. Ooh, the opponent's got a lot of lands for a shadow deck, that is for sure. But what on earth is this? Is this another one? Yep. Oh boy. That's a little scary. So, alright, we were hoping for a good old Maelstrom Pulse. That is our best draw. Sadly, it was not to be, so what do we do? What do we do? Well, let's play a land, make a clue. Are we interested in leaving up either of these man lands? Here's a really interesting line, is we can activate the Hissing Quagmire, use it to trade with an Angler, and before damage, crack a clue. That's kind of cool. I'm actually kind of into that. I wonder if I should be. I wonder if that's a little bit too high risk. The other thing we can do is, of course, just crack a clue main phase, look for a Maelstrom Pulse, and then we can, or, an Assassin's Trophy. And then we can, hold up another clue activation and threaten to trade the tracker. But, yeah, tough call. As tempting as that Quagmire line is, I think I'm going to go digging. I think that's correct. Hard to say, though. Hard to say. Alright, we find a land. That's not terribly exciting. Yeah, I guess we are just kind of bluffing here. And we'll pass. I think we have to trade off the tracker, unfortunately. These anglers are too big. It's worth noting that this is safer if they draw, a Fatal Push. They don't have a Revolt trigger. They wouldn't need a Revolt trigger to push our Quagmire before we go to blocks, whereas they do for this tracker. Alright, both the anglers getting in. Let's crack a clue. Another tracker, sure. It's not bad. And that makes us even more incentivized to go ahead and take the trade here. Alright, we're down to 9. What have they found now? It can't be an... Okay, it's a Street Wraith. I mean, that's still pretty good at this stage of the game. That Swamp Walk is pretty OP, and it's yet another thing that dodges our Fatal Pushes and Abrupt Decay, so that's pretty rough. Oh boy. Okay, so Tireless Tracker into a fetch land does not let us get big enough to even trade with the Angler, because we can only crack 1 clue, so that is pretty brutal. So I think what we have to do is just crack a clue here in the main phase, see if we find anything great that we can play at sorcery speed, and then we have to lean on this Hissing Quagmire to trade with the Angler. Then we still need an out to the Wraith, but yeah, pretty rough stuff. Pretty rough stuff. Inquisition of Kozilek is not it. Alright, Hissing Quagmire. Show us why you're in the deck. I guess I could have given a little bit more thought to just committing myself to using Tracker as a chump blocker there, but that just feels incorrect. While we have this Quagmire on the field, getting the trade with the Angler, pretty necessary. That makes other draws like Liliana of the Veil fantastic. A Maelstrom Pulse Assassin's Trophy are still two of our best draws, as they have been for quite some time. Let's see what the opponent ripped off the top. They've been hitting gas. They went low on resources, but they've been ripping gas for sure. Mishra's Bauble is not exactly gas. It's not dead, but... Alright. Sure, you got it. Ooh, the Wraith only. Yep. Very wise, very wise. Now we kind of have wasted our turn. But I don't think there was a better line that we had. Ooh, Assassin's Trophy. Okay. I like that. So what are our options here? We can go... I think we have to Inquisition here. I think we have to Inquisition while we can. You know, we've got a spot check for Stubborn Denial, basically. So let's start off with an IOK. See what they're working with. Stubborn Denial it is, okay. Okay, I don't feel bad about that. So if we want to... Let's see. I think we have to play our fetch land here, right? Because we have to play around them... No, we can't really play around them with a Stubborn Denial next turn anyway. So we just run out our Overgrown Tomb. Tapped. And we'll pass to the opponent. We're, of course, going to fire off the trophy using our Hissing Quagmire that's been activated if they attack with both. If not, we'll just simply trophy. Alright, looks like they've only got the Wraith coming across, so yep. We will go ahead and hit this thing with the Assassin's Trophy. Alright, very good, very good. That was step one. Alright, they've got one unknown in hand, and we draw another trophy. That's great. Alright, so we can start going on the tracker plan here. Let's make our clue. Do we want to do anything here? I think we play it cagey for one more turn. I think we'll just pass. We have enough things that we want to hold up at instant speed that we're not really incentivized to do anything. We're not going to tap out to animate a manland this turn, even if we remove the Angler first. So, yeah, let's just pass it. Opponent's going to just scoop. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, we did have a full hand. We did have a ton of advantage. They must not have had anything great in hand. A little bit of a premature scoop, if you ask me, but hey, you know, that'll happen. So, against Death Shadow, definitely interested in some number of Nile Spellbomb, and we want cards that can kill everything. Fatal Push and Abrupt Decay are fine in the matchup in some number, but a card like Maelstrom Pulse is a little bit better, if you ask me, just because it's not going to be stranded in hand like we saw there. This is a matchup where all of our discard is worth at least considering bringing out. It's not the worst in the world if you don't have enough to bring in, but, you know, spot checking for Stubborn Denial, for example, there was pretty great. But all things considered, there are better cards that we have, and we're looking at them. Engineered Explosives is kind of nice. I'm a fan of that here as well. Choke is playable. Choke is very playable. I don't really like anything else over here. So we've got 9 cards that are pretty solid here, and we've got 8 that we're pretty clearly interested in bringing out. So, yeah, why don't we just trim back on the Grave Hate just a tad? Or maybe we're supposed to cut a Fatal Push. Let's cut a Fatal Push. That's a little bit better, in my opinion. Could go either way with that, but, you know, just for some on-the-fly sideboarding, this looks fine to me. Not the most important match we've ever played, but we still want to win them all, right? Man, I'm a little bit salty about these replay bugs. I truly hope they iron those out. I really was excited to show you guys a full league. Was a great league top to bottom as well. Just in terms of showing a wide variety of opponents and of progressions on our end and all that good stuff. So here, is this enough action to keep? I mean, I don't like mulliganing against Death Shadow. We're on the draw. I'm going to give it a keep. We're playing it fast and loose today. This is definitely a loose keep, but I'm feeling lucky. Feeling lucky. Kalidas is not even that big of a bomb in the matchup. Oh no, you're scooping on me, buddy. You're scooping on me? Come on. I need good footage for the channel. Come on. Alright. Let's just go play again. Hey, let's open. Alright, folks, we're back messing around in the tournament practice lobby yet again. Opponent's gonna mull to 6. We've got a solid keep. We'll give this a keep. Opponent likes their 6 as well. Go for it, my friend, go for it. Overgrown Tomb tapped. This might be some kind of a BGX mirror. That is always my first thought. We will find out. Thought sees you. Alright, is this, this is some kind of spicy dredge variant. They've got Haunted Dead and Archamoeba. Thought Scour Charticourse? Something along those lines anyway. I guess I just take the thing that fills up their graveyard. This is some kind of Sultai graveyard abusing deck. That is clear. Beyond that, I'm not exactly sure. So they drew an island and they're just gonna chart a course, discarding a Creeping Chill. Okay, yeah, this is seems like Dredge without red, and with some spicy blue cards. So they have one unknown in hand, making Collective Brutality unappealing. I think I'm just gonna run out the Ooze. I think the upside is high enough. Well, is it though? Yeah, let's run out the Ooze. It's the proactive play if they continue to kind of dirtle around. And if they do succeed in filling up the graveyard with some useful things, then the Ooze will, of course, be a valid disruptor of that axis. There's their Swamp. Stitcher Supplier. Oh, alright. Okay, okay. I see you. There's a Creeping Chill, another Supplier, and a Forest. Sure. Alright, so nothing I really care about yet, and the hard-casted Archamoeba. Another Ooze. What am I even supposed to do here? Like... I kind of don't want to attack. So what does Haunted Dead do again? ETB creates a spirit token, or you can return it from the graveyard to the battlefield by discarding 2. Interesting. Okay. So... I like using this brutality this turn. I'm going to kill the Archamoeba, drain them for 2, kind of reverse some of the damage that Chill has done. I've got a lot of removal in hand that's not the best in this matchup, it seems, so I'll go ahead and pitch an Abrupt Decay. And I'm actually not going to give him the death trigger quite yet. So we'll just pass. Okay, Thought Scour. Sure. Polluted Delta. Alright, just main phasing the fetch. I like your style. And they'll pass. Liliana the Veil, not great. Not great here. So what do we do? Well, I guess we have to get proactive at some point. Let's attack. Let's attack. We're going to give them the death trigger. That's okay. We've got to do it sooner or later. Here we can kind of do it on our own terms with a couple Skooz activations. Ready to roll. Oh, they're just going to take it? Well, that's surprising. I guess I'm going to gobble up something. Alright. Let's just leave it there. And I'm just going to play another Skooz. Just going to play another Skooz. These guys seem good enough to win this game. I still don't really know what our opponent's up to be exact, but, you know, they're a Sultai deck. They could play some kind of spot removal, so another Skooz kicking around is definitely not the worst. Haunted Dead. Hard-casted Haunted Dead. Now that he's tapped out, sure, I'll give you the death trigger. Still don't really know what I'm up against, so yeah. I'm just trying to actually compete against this deck like it's a semi-normal creature deck. There's a Stinkweed Imp and a Shriekhorn. Alright, those are some actual dredge pieces like I'm used to seeing. So we've got to get that Stinkweed Imp out of there. We've also got to get, I think, the Haunted Dead out of there if they block with it. So for that reason, I think we can only attack with the bigger ooze. Because we don't want to attack with a smaller one, have to fire it up twice to live against a double block, and then we cannot get the Haunted Dead out of the graveyard this turn. So let's attack, see what they do. Opponent is deep, deep, deep in the tank. How do we block against this Scavenging Ooze, he says. No blocks. Alright, well, I'm obviously getting the Stinkweed Imp out sometime before their next turn, so let's get the damage in from it now. And is there anything else I really... Yeah, let's just be proactive. Alright. I might push this Spirit Token at some point this turn. We'll see what they do. Jace Beleren. Alright, man, you got me. I did not expect Jace Beleren. I love the tournament practice lobby sometimes. A lot of my footage for the channel actually comes from here. You run into some really, really interesting brews like this that I don't usually show on the channel. And then you run into some pretty poor players sometimes that I also don't show on the channel. You can tell when somebody's a competent player, right? And, you know, our opponent seems like a pretty competent player, and they are just playing all kinds of sweet stuff. So they're going to shuffle in Shriekhorn, Supplier, and Chill. Wow, that's really good with Creeping Chill. So this looks like a deck built to kind of maximize Creeping Chill. Draw a card, and then... Wow. Okay. That last clause, though, put in your graveyard from your library, shuffle your graveyard, and that seems bad in this deck, but what do I know? Definitely is a spicy one. They've got a lot of lands. They're flooding a bit. Yeah, I'll Fatal Push you. Seems like a matchup where Fatal Push won't have too many great targets, but, I mean, I'm not expecting Beleren, so... Oh, they're just gonna scoop. Oh, fair enough. And they're leaving the match. Come on, where's my good footage for the channel? People are not working with me. First the replays go haywire, and now this. Well, let's go to the lobby one more time. One more time, then I'm going to give up. Alright guys, we're here again in the lobby. I'm going to make my little intro, just in case I end up cutting out the first parts of this video, because it's been pretty janky so far. We'll keep this in. I have some great footage waiting in the wings for this channel. I have a really cool, really intense game against Martyr Proc, and that I played yesterday, and I have a full league that I played today that for the first time I was excited to bring this channel a replay of a full league, and of course something to do with the downtime that went on this morning, the update that they did to the client. Both the Martyr Proc game, which happened before the update, and the league, which happened after the update, they're all basically unwatchable as far as the replay goes. It says, you know, sorry, an unexpected error has occurred every time you progress to the next step. Clearly unwatchable, so I'm just messing around in the tournament practice lobby right now, doing a little bit of live footage, because replays are seemingly dead in the water, at least for the moment. Very bad news for your host, the Grim Flayer, but we'll make do. Alright, Asylum Visitor, huh? So this looks like some kind of madness deck, basically. I think we have to take the Pyro here. If we were on the play, maybe we could take something else, but being on the draw, I don't want to let the Pyro trigger even once, because those tokens are very, very good against Liliana of the Veil. Alright, Mountain and Pass. So they're not exposing that Asylum Visitor. Let's Thoughtseize. Another Asylum Visitor. Yeah, I think we just, Oh, this thing has Madness. Ooh, yeah. So obviously we take the looting. And we'll run out the fetch land here, because there is a chance that they play Blood Moon, right? Like, they're showing me a lot of basics here. Seems like it's just a 2-color deck. Huh. Alright, I guess we'll leave that uncorrect for now. These Asylum Visitors, huh? You know, I guess we can't really activate our lilies, so I'm just gonna play one and leave it on 3. The things that you have to do sometimes, very, very bemusing, but I'm certainly not gonna give them free Asylum Visitors here. If you discard this card, discard it into exile. That's how that works, right? Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm not totally hosing myself by playing around something that doesn't exist. We'll pass to the opponent. Okay, she's bolted. That's fine with me, because she's apparently not accomplishing much of anything anyway. They don't know about the second Lily, though, so maybe they're going to play out their visitors here, or at least one of them. Akum Refuge, that's not a land you see every day. That's definitely a budget land. Sure. Asylum Visitor comes out, and we will... Ooh, huh. Yeah, it's not worth pitching our Tarmogoyf. Push into Lily Tick Up is interesting, but Tarmogoyf is too good. We'll just go ahead and play the Lily Ticker down. Pass to you, OP, pass to you. Looting, you got it. Yep, that's a pretty nice value. Silent Visitor's a sweet card. It's kind of a A Dark Confidant style effect. Painless, you know, 3 power too. I like this card a lot, actually. They also pitched a Stencia Bloodhall, so the theme is on point. Love it. We'll just go ahead and push this. We're mana efficient. We're emptying our hand as well because we want to take the Lily up next turn. Okay. Yeah. Ooh, well. What if they have like a Fatal Push or something of their own? So let's take the Lily up first. Ravenous Rats. Ooh, okay. You came at the wrong time, Rats. You would have been nice early on. But now we're both in top deck mode, except we have a Liliana of the Veil and a Tarmogoyf, and the opponent has nothing. So life is looking pretty good. They do have some graveyard value going on. They've got a couple lootings they can flash back to see some more cards, and Liliana might not necessarily line up great against their deck overall, but this 5/6 Tarmogoyf is probably going to put in some work. Sure enough, there is a looting. And our opponent just leaves the game. You have got to be kidding me, opponents. Alright, do we want to give it one more shot? Do we want to give it one more shot? If nothing else, this is at least kind of funny, right? Sure. Let's play again. We're against Gambudo, who has requested meta decks in the comment. I think Golgari's a meta deck. Last time I checked, MTG Goldfish, as one of my commenters noted, has us at 5th in the meta. And now I know that Goldfish is not considered to be the most accurate by some. I don't know anything about that. I'm sure that's true. It's hard to collate data in this game anyway. But however you slice it, we're up there pretty high these days, right? So, alright, opponent, you wanted a meta deck? Here's a Thoughtseize. Be careful what you wish for. Oh, it's Jund. Sweet. Alright, so let's think about this one. They're gonna go Thoughtseize into Bob if we just leave that stuff. Their hand is stacked. Their hand is stacked. I guess we want to make sure our own Bobs stick around. That seems to be the key to this particular hand that we have, not only for pulling ahead but for hitting a second black land. So I guess we take the Lightning Bolt. Of course, they can take a Bob when they Thoughtseize us back, but yeah, so maybe we should have taken the Thoughtseize, actually. I'm playing a little bit quick here because it's the Tourney practice lobby. I don't want my opponent to just leave. I'm just desperate for a reasonable match on this channel tonight. I'll just repeat myself for the 3rd time. This is going to be kind of hilarious if I end up using the whole footage, but I'm messing around in the Tourney practice lobby tonight because we've got some replay issues going on. I've got a bunch of good replays waiting in the wings, but this update seems to have messed it up when I try to go back to the one game that I wanted to show from before the update this morning, or the league that I wanted to show from after the update this morning. Both of them are totally unwatchable. Hopefully it will be ironed out soon. But for now, I'm just messing around in the Tourney practice lobby trying to record some live stuff and show you some jank. And, yep. I guess our plan is still to run out the Confidant. Tarmogoyf is a good draw, though. That is for certain. BGX Mirror. Often interesting, sometimes a little bit less than desirable in terms of how the games actually play out. They can come down a lot to top decks. But hey, speaking of top decks, let's get a Blooming Marsh or a Swamp or a Verdant Catacombs off of this, please, and thank you. Blooming Marsh. Attaboy, Bobby, attaboy. So they're confident, and Wooded Foothills are gone. And their confidence about to be gone from the board as well as their hand. Liliana, the Last Hope. So good. So unbelievably good. Alright, folks, it's looking good for us. The way they've sequenced, I'm not sure that they have all that many lands, but either I'm wrong or they hit a Blackcleave Cliffs this turn, or, you know, who knows, but they are operational with 3 lands, and they're going to play an Ooze. Fair enough. Alright, so we revealed a Confidant with our Confidant. Do we want to compete with the graveyards? I don't think so. I think we're interested in just going crazy on board here. Alright, so we're going to target here. And then we're going to attack. If they want to eat their Confidant here and take the trade, that is actually perfectly fine with me. If not, we get to clock them for 2. This will inform the remainder of our turn as well. No block. Alright. That's fine, that's fine. So we just want a double spell turn for sure here. We'll get a Forest because this might be an Ooze game now. We definitely want to play the Tarmogoyf. I'm not sure whether we want to play the Bob or the Ooze here. Little bit of a tough call. I think I'm going to go with the Ooze, because if they want to tap out for like a Bloodbraid Elf or something next turn, then we might be able to kind of start winning the Graveyard War. In Double Bob against, you know, a deck that can be as aggressive as Jund, I don't know. Maybe Double Bob was the right play there. It's certainly a possible play. I don't mind the Use at all, though, here. Yeah, it can die to Bolt, whatever. We're pretty far ahead on resources that any kind of a one-for-one trade is more or less okay with me at this point. You get to take away a Dark Confidant. And they used a green source to do that. I don't know if that was correct. Maybe they should have used the Blackcleave Cliffs. Maybe it doesn't matter. But of course, you always want to be conscious of where your green sources are coming from and whether you can leave them up when there's a Scooz on the field, and especially when there are 2 on the field, potentially competing over the same cards. So we know we're not getting Bloodbraided this turn. Yeah, let's just see what they do. They're pretty deep in the tank. I have not been keeping up with this. My bad. So they've played the Use, they played the Thoughtseize. They still do have a Tarmogoyf in hand. Alright, Gambudo. Alright, there's the Lightning Bolt on the Scooz, as we kind of, you know, predicted. They'll just eat that main phase. Sure. Alright. What have you got for us, Bobby? It's going to reveal a Thoughtseize. Alright, well, as much as we'd like to conceal information and play that, I still think we should lead on this Inquisition. Certainly know it has a target in the form of Tarmogoyf. If their last card is Bloodbraid Elf, wouldn't that be perfect? Oh, it is. Well, don't mind if I do. Yeah, we don't get to play a Confidant this turn, but that's so worth it. Punish a little bit for fetching a Forest, I suppose, but definitely not mad about this turn of events. So they are totally empty-handed. Now they can grow the ooze here with this Verdant Catacomb, so we're not safe to attack with Confidant, but we are safe to attack with Tarmogoyf, right? Yes. Yes, there are multiple creatures in the yard, so even if they shrink, yeah, they can't shrink him and grow at the same time. And their life total is not the highest, then again, neither is ours, but we do have this Liliana the Last Hope, who's getting pretty close to ultimate. I'll just F6 here because they know our last card in hand. They're going to gobble up something here. Bye-bye, Dark Confidant. Alright, opponent, show us the top decks. Show us the beats. I didn't really consider strongly enough taking the Liliana down there. I think all I've had as far as a good window was really that turn, and I'm not that interested in buying back a Confidant. Maybe I haven't, honestly, I haven't been looking at that too much. I'm not used to commentating live as I play, so I'm probably playing at a lower level. I wonder if there was a window where I could have bought back the Ooze, which would have been potentially pretty decent. That said, this Liliana the Last Hope has done a lot of work simply. I mean, coming down and taking up to kill their Confidant was amazing on turn 3. And then since then, she's been totally fine. She's just been kind of keeping their stuff a little bit smaller. Wow, and speak of the devil, there she is. Alright, so the opponent's staying back on defense, huh? Well, they've got a 5/5 Ooze. We can shrink it to a 3/4. This is actually kind of a tough spot. Inquisition was quite a poor draw. So, I think we're just supposed to tick her up and play defense, then try to ult next turn. Alright, we've got all the blockers in the world. I'm pretty happy to chump with whatever I need to chump with. If the multiple block does not look like a good play. Yep, this Bob is definitely going to die to their Liliana ticking up, but that is alright, because we are just going to try to ultimate our Lily the Last Hope. Now, if they have like a Maelstrom Pulse or Assassin's Trophy off the top for the Lily, or some other way to deal with her, this might be very bad. But I think we have to just put all our cards on the table, literally and figuratively, and try to keep her alive. I hope I'm not playing too poorly again, you know, this commentary in-game. Man, it's new to me. It is new to me. Opponent's thinking. They're thinking pretty hard. We're a good 2 minutes ahead of them on the clock, despite the fact that I'm narrating. And while BGX mirrors rarely go to time, that is something that is worth noting and is worth maintaining awareness of, just generally. Especially on MTGO. If you're in paper, you know, it's kind of more nebulous. Obviously, there's no chess-style clock in paper. You don't want to deprive yourself of the chance to win a round, though, because your opponent is a slow player. So you don't have to be a jerk about it. You don't have to be, you know, aggressive about it. Oh, they're taking her down, letting our Bob live. Interesting. But, you know, you can just say, hey man, this is a really intense game, you know, lots of fun decisions, something like that, something less cliched than that. What did they just take back? Oh god, how do I get my chat back? I don't know what they took back. This is amateur hour, guys. I'm sorry. Maybe they're just about to replay it. Oh, is it the Bloodbraid Elf? Yeah, probably the Bloodbraid. Anyway, you don't have to be aggressive about it, but you can say, hey man, you know, this is an intense game, lots of good stuff going on. We should probably both try to speed play up a little bit, though, just so we make sure we get a result here. Thoughtseize was a pretty poor cascade for them. I'm very happy about that. And they're empty-handed, so... Alright, looks like our Liliana's gonna make it. She's gonna make it to the ult threshold. The question is, what attacks do they want to make here? If any. We've got some pretty good blocks we can line up. Okay, they're going all in, so this Ooze is going to become a 5/6. So do we want to double block the Ooze? I mean, I guess we probably do. 5/6 can kill both of our things, so we'd have to block with... Yeah, alright, he's just scooping. Sweet. Yep, just not going to beat that Lily ult with us at such a high life total. Alright, so we're against BGX Mirror. Out come all of the discard spells. Collective Brutalities are not the best necessarily either, but they're fine. But first we'll take all of these out. I kind of like cutting a Blooming Marsh here too, so let's bring in Engineered Explosives, Kitchen Finks, Maelstrom Pulse. Fulminators are still good, but they're not perhaps as good as these other things. Or maybe that's just wrong. Maybe Fulminators are just awesome. Languish is a maybe. Languish is a maybe. You know, some number of Spellbomb is fine too. So let's pick 3 of these over here. Let's do this. I don't know how much I like Languish, honestly. Like, Bloodbraid and, again, Confidant it kills, but now that I'm playing Confidants too, maybe I can say that this is a little bit unnecessary in a BGX Mirror. And sure, let's go with 2 Fulminators. They're just fine in the matchup. They're just fine. Do we want to cut 1 Brutality for 1 Spellbomb? I can buy that. Let's play something like this. Not the most scientific sideboarding you'll ever see, but this, you know, this is looking pretty fine overall. Now let's see if our friend Gambudo here does what everybody seems to do against me in all these BGX mirrors I've been playing lately. People are leaving in their discard spells, and I don't think you're supposed to at all. They're leaving in Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes specifically. And they're getting rewarded for it by just, like, opening on turn 1 Inquisition. All the time. And it's kind of bothering me. This hand is sketchy as heck, but I actually think we keep it. I don't like mulling in this matchup. We can play our Tarmogoyfs. We're on the draw, so we're going to see more lands. I am a fan. I mean... I'm not a fan, obviously, of this hand compared to some more ideal ones, but I'm a fan of the decision to keep. It's a little risky, there's no question about that, but, you know, they're obviously going to present targets for Field of Ruin to hit, so we just draw 1 more land, any more land in the first 3 turns, and we're kind of up and running. You know, we might have to make some less than optimal plays early on. You know, we might run the Tarmogoyf and do a Lily of the Veil, that'd be pretty bad, but... Or we'll just draw our lands. Sweet. Yeah, I'm just going to run out the Spellbomb if they want to, you know, Abrupt Decay this or something. I don't care. I'm just going to be mana efficient. Overgrown Tomb. Here comes a Goyf. Sure. Alright. I hope I draw a removal spell here, because I don't really want to play a Tarmogoyf of my own into Lily of the Veil. Tireless Tracker is not a removal spell. Huh. A little bit of a tough spot. If we had a second black land, I wouldn't mind running a Tarmogoyf out. Huh. It's also just going to die to Lightning Bolt as well. I think we slow roll these Goyfs. I think we're just going to pass. Maybe just crack the Spellbomb, you know, during their combat phase after they fill up the graveyard somehow a little bit to blank the Goyf damage for a turn and to get a draw and try to hit a second black land of our own. Edict the Goyf and take it from there. Fulminator Mage is also a perfectly valid turn 3 play, of course. What do they have now? There's a Lily. Okay. We kind of knew it. We kind of sensed it. What are we going to pitch? Oh, our hand is so good. Our hand is so stacked. Yep, that'll resolve. But what do we pitch? I guess it's Fulminator. That might be wrong. But it's what I'm going to do. They'll pitch an EE. You got it. Alright, so Spellbomb, if I Spellbomb myself, I can shrink the Goyf by 1. Is that at all worth doing? Not really. Not really. Because I've got 2 Goyfs. I want them to be big. I really just want to cash in the Spellbomb as a cantrip here. And try to draw a Blooming Marsh or something like that. Dark Confidant. Alright, come on. No. No, no, no. Very bad, very bad. Alright, so we're in trouble now. We are in big, big trouble now. You know, it's my fault. It was a risky keep. Didn't pay off. So, now the Lily gets to cleanly edict whatever we play. So this is just terrible. I guess we just have to play field and pass. I guess that's what we do until we can have a double creature turn, maybe, is when we start playing stuff out. Really, at this point, we really have to deal with the Lily with a Decay or a Pulse, though. Yeah, this is very bad. This is very, very bad. They're down to 3 cards in hand, though. And they obviously have to tick up here. Yep. I'm just going to pitch this Brutality. It's a low-impact card at the moment. They pitch a Lightning Bolt, sure. I guess they're least likely to have a basic mountain in the deck, although they probably do. This Goyf is gigantic now. We're punished for our cavalier attitude toward that keep. Kolagin's Command, 2 to me and discard, sure. Guess it's the Bobby. Alrighty. Let's go get our swamp. Opponents deep in the tank about this decision, too. They don't have a mountain, so we're rewarded for that choice. That is cool. I'm happy with that. Fatal Push. Okay. Fatal Push is a card. So our options here are Liliana, Edict the Goyf, or play a Goyf of our own to get it edicted and then push the Lily. I mean, right now her alt's not that great. I think we just do this. And of course we still have Decay, Trophy, Pulse. All good top decks against the Lily, and then we're pretty far ahead. after that. Alright, this is kind of a strange game. I don't think that playing creatures out one at a time is a good way to win against a Liliana of the Veil, though. It's just like... Okay. There goes another bolt. Alright, come on... Abrupt Decay. Come on, Maelstrom Pulse. Well, I mean, yeah, Maelstrom Pulse is actually fine. I might not even want to tick my Liliana up depending on what they do here. I'll take anything. Oh, no. Anything but that. Alright, so what do I do? Huh. Man, this is pretty bad. That was poor sequencing. I should have ticked the Lily up first. I'm just a little bit rattled at the moment. They're gonna Edict, sure. Yep. I guess now we're just kind of playing to the board. Ooh, Kitchen Finks. That's a good one. Alright. Alright, we did it. We did it. We drew a land. Not a great land, but a land nevertheless. Just cashing the Lily to kill half of a Finks. Safe to say that their Lily was much more effective than ours, and that's what you get when you're on the play and you have the right colors to cast her on curve. This has been what the game has hinged upon. These Lilies, and ours was way, way, way worse. Because we kept a no black source hand. Oh boy. That's very, very bad. Yes, yes, yes. At least we get to crack a clue in response to the Lily taking up, see if we want to keep this Tarmogoyf around as opposed to whatever's on top. Yeah, I'll picture the land. Alright, hit me for 2. You got it. Okay. Those are some large goyfs. Opponents probably only got 1 Maelstrom Pulse in their 75, and that's already in the graveyard. Oh, and they top deck a Fatal Push. Yeah, I'm just never winning through this Liliana, am I? Just never gonna get her. Even if I get her now, how much value has she gotten? It's insane. Okay. I'll concede on that note. Can't even sandbag that land in case of Tireless Tracker because she's just going to tick up next turn. So they got us good. They got us good, Gambudo. Let's go to game 3. Any changes? Nah, this all looks fine. Deathmark is actually one I didn't consider. I probably should consider this, huh? What do we like? Deathmark. I guess over a Spellbomb is good. Yep, seems fine. Kills Goyf, Skoos, Bloodbraid, Finks. 1/2 of Finks anyway. Anything but Confidant, basically. I don't know if they'll play Kalidas or anything along those lines. Not going to keep another risky one-lander. especially when the one lands Twilight Mire. Alright, this hand is good if we draw 2 lands in the first 4 turns. I'm certainly not throwing it back. It's very slow. Very slow, very clunky. Gotta keep it. I just have to bottom this. I just have to bottom that great, great card. It's a shame, but Liliana Edict to hit whatever creature they play on turn 2 is our priority. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm gonna play it, but we need the lands and we need them now. We did it! Woohoo! Exciting times. Exciting times. Alright, I guess it's a Lily. It's kind of tempting to pitch the Kalitas here, actually, and keep my other Lily around in case they have a Decay or a Trophy, but I'm still going to pitch this Lily. This extraneous Liliana. They will pitch what appears to be an extraneous land, and they don't have a Decay or a Trophy or anything like that to do on the end step, so that is good news for us. They've got a Lily of their own, and they're going to Edict, sure. Alright. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, play out the tracker with nothing to follow her up. That is awful. But it's what we've got to do. I guess I'm still just hoping I hit a land here. I'm really hoping I hit a land now that I have Tireless Tracker on the field. And they've just got all the lands in the world to throw away, huh? Well, I wish I could borrow one of those from you, my friend. Really wish I could. I mean, I don't know why I bothered thinking that one through. Doesn't matter. They're going to take their Lily up anyway, obviously. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. They've got 5 cards in hand. Yeah, their best play would be land into Bloodbraid into something great, take the Lily up, and pretty much bury us. Well, they've got the land part. And of course they've got the Bloodbraid. Into EE. Well, that's a pretty bad one. So am I supposed to take this black here? Take this trade? I don't think I am, because they can just Edict me next turn anyway. Unless I kill the Lily. Yep, gotta let that one through. Not alting anytime soon. We drew a land. Praise all that is holy, we drew a land. A good land, too. Alright, so yeah, let's go ahead and get their Lily off the field. And we're supposed to just run them out of resources here. The question is, would we rather tick up, get a card out of their hand, or tick down to get some guaranteed good value? They might just have more lands in hand, right? Tough call. I'm going to cash her in. This might not be right, but I'm going to cash her in. And another thing I'm going to do is get a guaranteed second clue without them being able to remove the tracker in response to a land, to an activated ability like this or a fetch land. This could give them Revolt for Fatal Push. This could give them, I guess not Lightning Bolt because they showed us they don't have a mountain. But that's all fine. We've just got a second clue. We're back in this game. Alright, opponent, you've got 3 cards in hand. You're still certainly in this game as well. What's it gonna be? Yeah, so you know there's some pros and cons to the replay client, which I of course lean on for the vast majority of my channel content. The big con right now being that it doesn't freaking work. But there are some pros to it. And the pros are showing up right now, you know. There's been a fair amount of kind of downtime here that our opponent's taking. Again, we're still ahead on the clock even though we are having to narrate and all that good stuff, and this is my first time narrating while playing, so I'm hardly an expert at it. But yeah, you know, we've got some dead air to fill up, but our opponent looks like they're getting frisky. Ooh, cracking this. Yep, I kind of forgot about that, I'll be perfectly frank. Yep, you get to punish me for taking my line last turn, that is for sure. But whatever, not the end of the world. Fulminator is our draw. Shocking is a little frightening there. Might be, okay, it's a Fulminator of their own, sure. Not too worried about that one. I feared another Lily. I've been lilied upon very hard this game, but it is not to be. It is simply a Fulminator Mage. And we find another land. That was such a good draw. Let's attack. No block, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I'll crack a clue here. Liliana of the Veil. I like it. But do I play her out quite yet? Fulminator is honestly a totally fine play here. I'm going to run the Lily out, though. I don't want to tick her up. Or do I? Tough call, tough call. I'll play the Lily. We'll just get her out there and edict something. And by something, I mean the only thing. Let's see whether they rate our Field of Ruin or our Twilight Mire more highly. There goes the field. You got it. I just didn't want to strand the Lily in our hand in case they are one of those BGX players that leaves the discard in, although they don't appear to be, or they have a Lily of their own. I'd rather have her on the field than risk losing her, even though they were obviously going to get value out of their Fulminator in response to our edict. Okay, Bloodstained Mire can't be the draw they were looking for, so I'm alright with that. But they might have one spell in hand. What could it be? Opponents on these Amonkhet block basics, huh? Yeah, the art's fine, but to me, I don't know if it's nostalgia factor, or I don't know if it's just the kind of change over time in terms of the art, like kind of the overall guidelines that seem to have been given to the artists. But this Onslaught era art, my goodness, this is just spectacular to me. Soon we'll be looking at some, not necessarily on my channel, I don't know if I'm going to spend the money on it, probably not, but soon in general we'll be able to see the new Fulminators out in the wild, certainly the box toppers of Liliana of the Veil. Lily the Last Hope, I almost said that. I had a strange feeling they had a Lily the Last Hope that was about to show up. I don't know why. And I kind of just gamed it out in my mind. You know, they can buy back the Bloodbraid, but can't play it this turn, all that stuff. Yeah, so what do they do here? Do they want to buy back the Fulminator? That's the big question. Or do they buy back the Bloodbraid? Or they just mill, of course, they get another look. They find another Bloodbraid. If they take her back, they cannot play her. And they're just going to lose her. So, of course, they'll take the Fulminator instead. So I guess land is our best draw here. And we draw another land, man. These Fields of Ruin are just flocking to our tracker. It's a beautiful thing. So do we want to spend the field to get another clue now? We could go get a swamp off of it and cast our Fulminator. I like that. I like that well enough. We'll try to cut them off of as many green sources as we can, I guess. And we know they don't have a mountain to get, so we'll hit the red-green one. I guess I'll try to take this Last Hope off the field. Maybe should just be attacking the opponent, though. But I won't have lethal next turn with Fulminator Mage, even if I get through here. So, doesn't matter. Looks like they were going to block us either way. And yeah, I should have gotten a forest there. That was bad. That was bad to fetch a swamp with my field, but hey. The perils of speaking while playing. What are you going to do? Alright, opponent's in some trouble. We've got wicked advantage on board. We've got a couple clues to crack. Our mama's a little bit awkward because I didn't get a forest. But other than that, we are rocking and rolling. Opponent ticks up on the Tireless Tracker. They find an Isle Spellbomb. Oh, interesting. I guess they're kind of playing around the Liliana of the Veil by not cracking it that turn, but I still think they maybe should have. Either way, we don't have lethal even if we just crack a couple clues. So let's just decay this. Great draw, by the way. Definitely not mad about that. Great, great draw. Take our Lily of the Veil up. Crack a clue, see if we can hit another land drop. Nope. That's alright. We will have to settle for massive board advantage, massive life advantage, and a Dark Confidant in hand. Seems alright. I think we'll live. I think we'll make it, guys. Alright, they're looking for a removal spell here. So maybe I should have held up this Lily activation, actually. I've done things a little bit differently. I guess the upside was pretty high for hitting a land and making sure we got another clue before we move to attacks, but regardless, you could debate that line. Either way, we are probably going to see the opponent scoop here, but maybe not. Looks like they're paying cost to something. What do they have, a Bloodbraid Elf? Maelstrom Pulse. Alright. Pulse in the tracker is good. You're still at 2, though. Kitchen Finks. Oh, boy. Alright, it's a game. Those were some 2 good draws, I have to say. Fulminator Mage is our draw, huh? Well. Alright. I mean, we've got to battle through these Finks. So let's just go ahead and Edict. They have gained life. I'm going to play the Confidant over the Fulminator anyway, so I guess we're supposed to just main phase this clue. Assassin's Trophy. Not bad. Let's attack before we show them anything else. Alright, they're taking the block. I'm happy to take that trade. We're just pressing our advantage as much as we possibly can before they draw more Kitchen Finks. If they have more to draw, that would be arguably their best draw right now. The card is low-key OP in a match like this. They find a Confidant of their own. Okay, well, that's a card we can beat. Yeah, another trophy. Sure. So, it's a little awkward, but... Yeah, I don't think we can allow that Confidant to live, even if it comes at the cost of our own. So let's begin by offering the trade. Alright, no trade. So, yeah, we've just got to trophy it. Picture Fulminator. Pass the turn. Tarmogoyf can handle a Raging Ravine if that's what they find. Opponent's down to 3 minutes on the clock, too, so we're at 18. They might not be able to beat us even if they somehow stabilize and start clawing back into the game. This turned into quite the epic match, by the way. We've been playing around in the Tourney practice lobby for a little while against a bunch of opponents who don't want to play the full match out, but this one's going right down to the wire. Alright, they found a trophy. Interesting decision to hit the Lily there. I think they really wanted to hit the Bob. I truly do. The Bob is just going to bury them, and it's a 2-turn clock on its own. We reveal to them a Scooze, sure. So let's play out that Ooze. Let's just play only one creature here. This conceals information. This means that either one of them is lethal. This allows us to also hold up Assassin's Trophy and even mess with the persist trigger of a Finks. Alright, opponent. They're finally scooping it up. Well, if I knew how to work this new chat function, I would say good game, well played. But because I don't, I won't, and they're just going to leave the game straight away anyway. So yeah, that was an interesting change of pace. I hope this video was not too janky, was not too far off the beaten path of high quality opposition. Now, I'm not insulting anyone we just played against. That Jun player, I think they made the wrong decision on their literal last spell of the game. But they were pretty done for either way, and it's not like, and they seem to play very well throughout. So, not hating on anyone, but yeah, it's the perils of playing in the tournament practice lobby. Sometimes people just bounce, so sometimes you don't see full matches, but anyway, I truly hope that the replays I have in store are ready to be recorded and shown to you sometime very soon. I hope they get that figured out. I hope those aren't just kind of permanently done for. That would be a shame. Really cool match against Martyr Proc, and a really cool league. I really want to show the league in its entirety, so stay tuned to the channel because hopefully that stuff will be fixed and I'll be able to show you those in the near future. But until then, here's a little live content to tide you over. I hope it was useful. I hope it was entertaining, and I will see you for the next video. Remember to visit my Patreon page if you're interested in supporting the channel. Link is in the description below. Remember, please, also to share, subscribe, and like. Alright, guys, I will talk to you soon. Have a great night.